A lot of Bronco owners think their engine feels slower because something's already wearing out. Most of the time it isn't. It's dirty, it's restricted, it's relearning around problems nobody ever fixed. I've had Broncos come into my shop feeling sluggish, rough, and down on power, and leave the same day pulling harder, idling smoother, and feeling years newer. The thing most owners don't realize is that Broncos live a harder life than almost any other Ford. They sit in traffic with hot turbochargers. They crawl off-road. They breathe dust. They spend hours idling. And all of that accelerates the buildup and wear that slowly steals performance. I'm RJ. 20 years working on Fords. Today, I'm counting down 9 steps to make your Bronco engine run like it did the day it left the factory. Starting with the basics and building to the one thing that ties everything together. Let's get into it. Step 9, get the oil right. And stop killing your turbo on shutdown. Both the 2.3 and 2.7 EcoBoost run under boost pressure every time you accelerate. Turbo bearings, cam phasers, and timing chain tensioners all depend on clean oil at the right pressure. For a Bronco driven the way Broncos get driven, off-road, city traffic, short trips, towing, change full synthetic every 5,000 miles. Not what the oil life monitor says, 5,000. The part most Bronco owners miss is turbo cooldown after hard use. When you come off a trail or finish a long towing session and shut the engine off immediately, the turbo is still spinning at temperature with no oil circulating. The oil trapped in the bearing passages sits under that heat and can break down on the bearing surfaces over time. After any hard run, sustained towing, extended boost on a mountain road, or a long trail session, let the engine idle for 2 to 3 minutes before shutdown. Modern EcoBoosts have water-cooled turbos that reduce this risk compared to older designs, but the habit still pays off in bearing longevity over 60 or 70,000 miles. Use a Motorcraft filter. A cheap filter that collapses on startup starves the engine for the first critical seconds of every cold start. On a turbocharged engine, those dry starts accumulate into measurable wear over time. 5,000 miles, Motorcraft filter, 2 minutes of idle after a hard run. That's turbo life insurance on a Bronco. Step 8. Replace the air filter after off-road use, not just on mileage. F-150 owners can usually make it to 15 or 20,000 miles between air filter changes. Bronco owners can't always say the same. One afternoon on a dusty trail can load a filter with more contamination than 10,000 miles of highway driving. I had a Badlands owner come in after a Moab trip, convinced his turbo was going bad. Boost felt lazy, the truck felt heavy under acceleration. He'd already been looking at turbo kits online. When I opened the airbox, the filter looked like somebody had vacuumed the entire desert floor into it. Hard packed dust across the entire element. Replaced the filter, cleared the adaptive fuel trims, and the boost response came back immediately. $40 fix instead of a turbo job. A clogged filter restricts airflow to a turbocharged engine that needs to move large volumes of air to build boost pressure. The turbo works harder to move less air. Throttle response gets lazy, fuel economy drops. The truck feels heavy under acceleration. All of it goes away when the engine can breathe again. Hold the filter up to light. If you can't see through it, replace it. If you run trails regularly, check it after every significant off-road trip. Don't wait for a mileage interval if the filter is clearly loaded. Step 7. Clean the MAF sensor. This matters more on a Bronco than on most Fords. The mass airflow sensor sits right after the filter and tells the ECM exactly how much air is entering the engine. On a Bronco, the MAF faces 2 contamination sources: fine dust from off-road use and oil vapor from the PCV system. When the MAF reads low, the ECM circulates incorrect fuel trims. You get hesitation on initial throttle, sluggish mid-range response, rough idle at stops, and often no check engine light because the sensor hasn't failed, it's just dirty. I had a 2022 Bronco come in after 3 trail runs in 4 months. Completely flat off the line, no codes. The MAF sensing wires were coated in a mixture of dust and oil film. 10 minutes with a MAF cleaner. Reinstalled, and the truck felt like a different vehicle on the test drive. The ECM had been running incorrect fuel trims for months. MAF cleaner from any parts store. Spray the wires lightly, don't touch the element, let it air dry completely. If you run off-road regularly, make this part of your post-trail routine. A dirty MAF sensor makes a healthy engine feel half awake. Clean it, and the truck wakes up immediately. Step 6. Clean the throttle body and do the idle relearn. Carbon builds up around the throttle plate where it seals against the bore. On a Bronco that sees a lot of city driving and short trips, which is more common than people admit, this buildup accumulates faster than on a truck that regularly gets highway miles. The throttle plate sticks slightly on opening. The ECM compensates by adjusting idle air. The result is a hunting idle at stoplights, a slight hesitation when you first tip into the throttle, and a truck that feels vague and unresponsive in traffic. Remove the intake hose, hold the throttle plate open gently, and wipe the bore with throttle body cleaner on a lint-free cloth. A few wipes and you'll see exactly what's been collecting in there. Don't spray cleaner directly into sensors. After the clean, the ECM needs to relearn idle air control. Let the engine warm fully, then idle for 10 minutes with everything off. Switch the AC on and let it stabilize for another 10 minutes. The idle will settle in and hold steady. Zero parts cost, immediate improvement in stop-and-go drivability. Steps 5 and 4, the PCV valve and oil vapor control. These two work together. The PCV system routes crankcase blow-by gases back into the intake. On a turbocharged engine, more oil mist moves through this system than on a naturally aspirated engine. When the PCV valve sticks or clogs, crankcase pressure builds and oil gets pushed into the intake tubing, onto the MAF sensor wires, into the throttle body, and onto the intake valves. Owners see oil film in the intake and assume turbo seals are leaking. Sometimes they're right. Often it's a $20 PCV valve. Remove it and shake it. A functioning valve rattles. A stuck valve is silent. Replace it every 40,000 miles regardless of symptoms. If you want to go further, especially on the 2.3, consider an oil catch can. The 2.3 uses direct injection only, which means the intake valves never see fuel. Oil vapor from the PCV system bakes onto those hot drive valve faces with every heat cycle, building the carbon that slowly chokes the engine. A catch can installs in the PCV line and may reduce how much of that vapor reaches the intake. Not mandatory, but many long-term EcoBoost owners use them for exactly this reason. A quality unit runs $50 to $150. Fix the PCV valve first. Everything else in the intake contamination chain starts there. Step 3. Replace the spark plugs at 60,000 miles, not 100. Ford service schedule on EcoBoost engines suggests longer plug intervals than I'd recommend for real-world Bronco use. Here's why the Bronco is different from a highway F-150. Broncos spend more time at low to mid RPM in technical terrain, more time idling in traffic after a trail run, and more time doing exactly the short trip driving that accelerates plug wear. A turbocharged engine is harder on plug electrodes than a naturally aspirated one. Higher combustion pressures, higher temperatures, more stress on the electrode gap. As the gap grows and the electrode erodes, what used to fire cleanly under boost starts misfiring under load. You might not see a code yet, but you feel it. Hesitation when you tip in hard, a slight roughness at highway speed, a consistent small drop in fuel economy, and a loss of the immediate throttle response the Bronco had when it was newer. Replace at 60,000 miles on both EcoBoost engines. Motorcraft plugs only. Correct part number for your specific year and engine. Off-brand plugs with the wrong heat range can run fine for a while and then misfire under boost when the engine needs them most. Check the coil on plug boots while you're in there. Cracked boots arc voltage to the head instead of the plug. Swap a suspected coil to another cylinder. If the misfire follows the coil, replace it. At 60,000 miles, worn plugs on an EcoBoost Bronco explain most of what feels like turbo lag. It's ignition, not boost. The Ford Longevity Blueprint covers service intervals, fluid specs, and the inspection checkpoints that keep EcoBoost engines running clean past 100,000 miles. Link is in the description. Step 2. Address the carbon buildup. This is the biggest one. If your Bronco has 40,000 miles or more and has been used primarily in city traffic and short trips, carbon buildup on the intake valves is almost certainly a factor in how it feels. This is not a defect specific to the Bronco, it's a characteristic of every direct injection EcoBoost engine. The intake valves never see fuel. Oil vapor from the PCV system bakes onto those hot dry valve faces with every heat cycle, building hard deposits over time. I scoped a 2021 Bronco 2.3 last year at 58,000 miles. The owner said it had felt progressively flat for the past 18 months. He thought the turbo was failing and had a shop quote him $3,000 for a turbo replacement. When I put the bore scope in, the turbo was completely fine. The intake valves had enough carbon buildup to noticeably restrict airflow on several cylinders. Not every Bronco looks this bad at 58,000 miles, but this one had spent most of its life on short city trips and idling, which accelerates accumulation. Walnut blast service. The intake manifold comes off, the valve ports get blasted with crushed walnut shell media that strips carbon without scratching aluminum. A few hours of work, around $400 to $700 depending on the shop. On the test drive, the owner said it felt like the day he picked it up from the dealer. Not every Bronco needs walnut blasting at 50,000 miles. If the truck still pulls cleanly, idles smoothly, and fuel economy hasn't dropped, the buildup may not yet be significant enough to affect performance. But if you're experiencing loss of low-end torque, inconsistent idle, throttle response that feels slow off the bottom, or occasional pinging under hard acceleration, those are the signs. The engine isn't worn, it's choked. For mild buildup under 40,000 miles, a PEA-based fuel system cleaner like Techron, added to a quarter tank before a sustained highway run, can slow progression. PEA-based cleaners have the strongest evidence for deposit control among over-the-counter fuel additives. It doesn't fix significant buildup, but it slows the rate between services. For significant buildup, walnut media blasting is the correct fix. Shop cost typically runs $400 to $700 depending on region and labor rate. I've done this on Broncos at 50,000 miles that came out pulling like they had 20,000 miles again. The difference is that dramatic. Your Bronco isn't slow because the turbo is tired, it's slow because the valves are choked. That's fixable. One more thing that kills Bronco performance in a way owners rarely identify: heat soak in the intercooler and charge pipes. Both EcoBoost engines use an intercooler to cool the compressed air coming from the turbo before it enters the engine. Cool, dense air makes more power. Hot, expanded air makes less. When a Bronco idles in traffic after a trail run, or sits in a summer parking lot with the engine at operating temperature, heat from the engine bay soaks into the intercooler and charge pipes. The air charge temperature rises. The ECM pulls ignition timing to protect the engine. Boost feels lazy. Throttle response feels soft. The truck feels like it lost 20 horsepower. The fix is simple. If you've been idling in traffic or a parking lot and the truck feels flat when you pull away, give it a few miles at moderate load on an open road before expecting full performance. The intercooler needs airflow to shed the heat. Once it does, the charge temperature drops, timing comes back, and the engine feels normal again. Bronco owners who upgrade to a larger aftermarket intercooler often report that the heat soak problem reduces significantly. But for most owners, understanding that heat soak is temporary and not a sign of a failing turbo is enough. Step 1. Exercise the engine weekly and reset what the ECM learned when it was running wrong. More Broncos than people realize spend most of their time on short urban trips, school runs, grocery store, daily commute. The engine warms up briefly, never reaches full operating temperature, and shuts off. Moisture from combustion stays in the oil. Carbon builds faster. The catalytic converter never reaches the temperature it needs to function correctly. On an EcoBoost engine, short trips are particularly hard on the turbo seals. The turbo spins up under boost and then sits without cooldown airflow when the engine stops cold after a quick trip. Once a week, take your Bronco on a 20 to 30 minute highway run. Get it fully to operating temperature and hold it there. Use tow haul mode or drop one gear to hold RPM slightly higher than a normal highway cruise. This raises exhaust temperatures, lets the converter do its regeneration cycle, and allows the oil to get hot enough to burn off accumulated moisture. Broncos that get this weekly run consistently feel sharper at 60,000 miles than the ones with the same service records that never leave the neighborhood. After you've done the steps on this list, clean the MAF, clean the throttle body, replace the plugs, there's one final step that most Bronco owners never take. Reset the adaptive learning. ForScan is free software that works with a $25 OBD2 adapter and gives you access to the same diagnostic and calibration system Ford dealers use. Here's why this matters. The ECM and TCM have been adapting to every dirty, worn, or restricted condition your Bronco had before you fixed it. The MAF was reading low, so the ECM adjusted fuel trims to compensate. The throttle body had carbon buildup, so the ECM adjusted idle air control. The plugs were worn, so the ECM adapted shift points around the rough idle. Those adaptations are still in the system after you've fixed everything. ForScan lets you reset the throttle body idle relearn, clear the 10R80 automatic transmission adaptive tables, and reset the battery monitoring system if you've replaced the battery. The ECM and TCM start fresh on a truck that's actually running correctly. Owners who do this after a full maintenance service consistently report that the truck feels the way it did when they drove it off the lot. Because in terms of what the ECM knows, it basically is starting from scratch. And now it's starting from scratch on a Bronco that's actually clean. Your Bronco is 3, 4, maybe 5 years old. The engine isn't worn out. It's restricted by things that accumulate on every turbocharged direct injection engine that does more city driving than highway, more short trips than long ones, more dusty trails than clean pavement. Clean the intake, address the carbon, fix what the sensors are seeing, exercise the engine weekly, and then let the ECM relearn from a clean baseline. That's what makes a Bronco feel new again. Not a rebuild, not a turbo replacement, just removing what's in the way. Ford Longevity Blueprint is in the description. If this helped you, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.